question I had on Mazda 626 is how to remove your cup holders or this center console trim piece. If you want to remove this or your dash panel, dash bezel, you first have to remove your cup holders, and that's a fairly simple process. All you have to do is first thing you want to do is put your car in neutral. It's not going to matter as much if you have a manual, but the automatics have a long shifter, so removing this piece up and over the shifter does matter where your shifter position is. There's going to be this little center piece. You just take out that center piece. I lost mine a long time ago, but grab each side right here, kind of dig your fingernails underneath right there, and you just pry up, straight up. And this whole panel is held in here with, I'm not sure if you're familiar with these little clippy guys. That's all that's holding it in here. There's four, I believe four. 1, 2, and then 3, 4 up there. Then you can just pop this whole piece, pop right off. See, there goes the back clips. And the front is, make sure that you don't pry it up because you will crack this. I kind of cracked it over here a little bit from doing this so many times. But you want to pull up and then back. So put your e-brake all the way up, because that's what this little notch is for. When you pull this up, it will come back and hit the e-brake. So it's kind of catching there. There we go. Okay, so once you get this pried up and loose, this part will go back. So you want to bring this down, and then this part you want to come up. That way it'll come up and over the shift lever. However, as you can see, there's the harness for the light socket, which is powered, so there's going to be a harness back there, which is right there. You have to first disconnect that harness before you can get it out. And that harness connector is actually over here on the left side, that little guy right there. So you would disconnect that, and then the whole thing will just come up and out. But I'm not going to do that. And then once you get that out, I took mine out, but there's supposed to be screws here. So that's how you would take off this paneling. If you want to remove anything in your car, pretty much, as far as the body panels, to paint them or what have you, you first have to remove this. This is the key to everything. In order to remove the side knee panels, you have to remove a screw here, and then these will just pop right off. Gone. Gone. And then you also have access to now remove this whole front dash bezel, because there's electronics associated with this. There's going to be plenty of harnesses back over here and back over here, so you're going to have to disconnect harnesses. And if you want to paint this, it's a fair amount of work, maybe about 15-20 minutes worth of work. And once you unscrew everything, make sure not to tighten them back down too hard. As you can see, this little dot and that little dot is actually from over tightening my hazard light switch from the other side. These are screws jutting out, so don't over tighten. All the other panels just come out with clips or screws. Most of the glove box, I believe, is mostly screws, whereas the panels are just plastic clips or metal clips like that one. It all removes fairly easily in logical order, starting with the cup holder. And now that you have, well, I'm not sure if I can get under there, but you can see those screws. There's going to be 2 screws there. Once you undo that, that will then unlock your glove box. I don't know what your center console box, CD holder kind of thing. Oh yeah, I have some lights out for these, which go to the illumination fuse, Elum, in the 98. I think this might all be part of the room fuse. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up for my year, but judging from a post from someone that had a 98 Plus, it's the Elum or illumination fuse. So if I ever wanted to replace any of these lights, I would have to do this, unscrew that, take this panel off. I'm sure there's going to be screws for the AC and heating control module. Unscrew those, pull it out, or pull the panel out, replace the tiny little bulbs. I'm not sure of the number of the bulbs. They're probably going to be real small, like 64 or something like that, some small bulb. Any of these switches, you have to pull the panel out, and I would recommend disconnecting the harnesses before trying to do any troubleshooting work, because it is possible to crack your bezel, dash bezel. Unfortunately, I did that from doing it too many times. I've probably had all of my body panels in and out, I don't know, 40 or 50 times over the course of the car's life. I just like taking my panels off and putting them back on. It's almost fun, like Legos. It's a lot easier than you guys think it is. You just take them off, paint them, do whatever you want. Get to the controls, get to the switches, and there you have it. I've also replaced the lights inside here. There's a little strip, gel strip I guess you might call it, or transparent plastic strip that goes below here, and that's kind of what controls the colors, your shift colors. So you can either take that plastic strip out, replace it with a different color plastic strip. There's also a bulb in here, and you can color the bulb if you want, and just remove the strip completely, which I think is what I did. I just removed that strip and put a red bulb in there, so all my shift points are red. Little Knight Rider looking thing, but that's just some of the stuff you can do with your panels. You can paint your A pillar, you can paint your B pillar, you can even paint your C pillar. You can take anything plastic out in here pretty much that's hard plastic and paint that. Something like this is probably not going to weather with paint too well. Same thing as the top of your glove center console box. Little trim pieces like that you can paint. These you can paint, that you can paint. Wait, no, that's soft. You're gonna have to dye that. Even things like seat belts. You can dye seat belts, or you can paint those hard seat belt pieces. That's a hard trim piece. You could paint that. You could take off the little piece that goes around the dome light cover, and you could paint that. There's a lot of stuff that you could paint in here and customize to your heart's content, which I have done, obviously. And I need to redouble my efforts and take all this stuff off and redo it again using better techniques that I've since learned. Now this is a 96-97 cup holder. Actually, that's something that someone said was actually impossible, that you could not do, was to put the 96-97 cup holders in a 95 because of the way the PCM gets in the way, which, as you can see, there's, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there we go. See, there's no PCM that's getting in the way here or over there, so there's no reason that this shouldn't fit in. So I Dremeled it out, and bam. Oh look, 96-97 cup holders fit in a 95. So that's another mod that I've done, because I knew it could be done, and it was done, and is done.